Now at 9, Donald Trump has won the presidential election. Find out how his team is celebrating.
Then we have the results of the local elections. Find out who won and by how much.
And there's a fast-spreading brush fire happening in California. We have the details.
And we have the details on a Muncie Police Department officer that has died.
We're tracking continuing near-average conditions. NewsLink Indiana starts right now.
Local news about local people, live from Ball State Unified Media. You're watching NewsLink Indiana.
Good evening, and thank you for joining us. I'm Andy Zelaya.
And I'm Gavin Smith.
Donald Trump has secured a historic second term in the White House. A crucial win in the battleground state of Wisconsin early this morning put him over the top of the 270 electoral votes he needed.
We do not have any word yet out of the Harris campaign since results only started rolling in yesterday evening. Ivan Rodriguez is in West Palm Beach, Florida, where President-elect Trump celebrated with supporters.
Please welcome President-elect Donald J. Trump.
Projected President-elect Donald Trump is now the second person in U.S. history to win 2 non-consecutive terms as Commander-in-Chief.
America has given us an unprecedented and powerful mandate.
And I think presidents who are given a mandate to govern deserve from the Senate the opportunity to surround themselves with people that are going to help them execute their policies.
And the Republican Senate is exactly what Trump will have after the GOP secured enough seats to take control of that chamber overnight. He gave a peek into his prospective administration.
Robert F. Kennedy Jr., he came in. And he's going to help make America healthy again.
Kennedy is known for his extreme views on America's public health systems and anti-vaccine stance.
Healthcare regulators now are not doing healthcare, they're doing sick care.
A star is born, Elon.
Elon Musk poured around $119 million into Trump's campaign and is expected to play a role in Trump's White House. Republican and former Representative Liz Cheney, who campaigned with Vice President Kamala Harris, tweeted this morning that our nation's democratic system functioned last night, and we have a special responsibility to support and defend our Constitution. In West Palm Beach, Florida, I'm Ivan Rodriguez reporting.
The Republican Party has won the Senate as of right now. The House of Representatives remain too close to call on who holds that majority.
To help break down and explain the results of the election, NewsLink Indiana sat down with Associate Professor of Political Science Chad Kinsella to learn more.
I think overall what you'll find is, I think what happened was President-elect Trump, and now former President Trump, whatever you want, he's got lots of titles at this point. So I think he was able to kind of raise the bar, like almost across the board, with some demographics more than others, but was really able to raise the bar across the board. And, as talking with someone who's like, oh, well, that was a red wave. And it's like, it wasn't a red wave. I think he did what he needed to do. A couple of patterns I think that are going to come out, but I think the thing is he pushed forward enough and got enough to win. And I think that was the key thing. And I think also you had some turnout issues. Like I think Philadelphia and Milwaukee, I think some of those urban voters that tend to be more Democratic were not, for various reasons, excited about the election, excited about Harris enough that they just didn't turn out. And so the result is clear. You have this.
Special Counsel Jack Smith is in active talks with the Justice Department about how to end his federal prosecutions of Donald Trump, now that Trump has been elected back to the White House. Smith leads the case in which Trump is facing federal charges over his efforts to overturn the 2020 election and his handling of classified documents. Trump has pleaded not guilty. He previously said he would quickly fire Smith if he were to return to the Oval Office, which would bring an end to those cases. Trump is scheduled to be sentenced later this month for his conviction on 34 counts of falsifying business records in New York. However, the judge has given himself a deadline of November 12th to decide whether to wipe away the conviction.
Last night's election coverage primarily focused on our national polls. Tonight we'll be covering our local elections. First, Republican candidates Mike Braun and Micah Beckwith won governor and lieutenant governor with 49.86%. Republican Todd Rokita won attorney general with 55.81%. And Republican Victoria Sparks won District 5 U.S. Representative with 54.46%. For the state representatives, Republican John Prescott won District 34 with 70.46%. Democrat Sue Arrington won District 34 with 55.08%. Arrington was also the only Democrat to win in the county. Republican Elizabeth Rowe Ray won District 35 with 69.42%. Republican Andrew J. Ramirez won Judge of 46th Circuit Court No. 2. Republican Stephen Brand won County Commissioner District 1. And Republicans Bradley T. Bookout, Jessica Piper, and Eugene Whitehead won County Council at Large.
Officer Josiah Mueller of the Muncie Police Department died this morning after a lengthy battle with illness. The city of Muncie said in their statement that, quote, Officer Mueller exemplified the highest standards of service, integrity, and commitment to the safety and well-being of our community, end quote. Mueller was a 1.5-year veteran of the Muncie Police Department. Details regarding funeral arrangements and memorial services will be shared as they become available.
Firefighters are working to control a rapidly spreading brush fire in Southern California's Ventura County. The blaze, referred to as the mountain fire, was first reported this morning. Strong winds blowing through the area quickly grew to a fire. Authorities say it's at least 250 acres in size. Evacuation orders are in place for nearby residents. Fire department officials say there have been some injuries. 140 firefighters are battling the flames with help from helicopters and aircraft. So far, they have not yet been able to contain the blaze. The mountain fire is one of 2 blazes burning in the greater Los Angeles area. Of course, we're wishing safety upon those who are living in the California area and ensuring that we don't lose any more lives as of right now. So.
I absolutely agree. Now let's head over to weather with Evan.
It's cooler here across the state of Indiana. Looking at our current temperatures right now, it is 54 degrees here in Muncie. In the Indianapolis area, 55 degrees. It is a little bit warmer down there in southern Indiana. In the Evansville area, 60 degrees. While up in the Chicago South Bend area, it is 50 degrees up there, respectively, right now. What we're tracking tonight, we're tracking tranquil weather. We're tracking some average temps for this time of year and a little bit more of a dry stretch here throughout the region.
Coming up, a food truck just opened its first venue. Learn what this means for the community.
And a local pet groomer opened up her own parlor. Find out how she is making a difference.
Dear moms and dads, what you have achieved here today is going to help us and our futures. It is why we are coming up on stage to collect your diplomas.
You know it's true.
Mom, we love you always.
Everything I do.
When you graduate, they graduate. Visit finishyourdiploma.org to find free and supportive adult education centers near you.
Last week, Brandon met a girl on a dating app. One day after work, he finally found the courage to ask her out. No answer. He started to panic. Was he being too pushy? Maybe it was too...
Hey, sorry I didn't respond. I was driving. I would love to go on a date. How does tonight sound?
Brandon tried to play it cool, but inside he knew. A girl so smart, so responsible. She must be a keeper.
Eva Marie smoked 12,000 packs of cigarettes over 15 years. She quit, and now there's a new lung cancer screening that could save her life. You stopped smoking, now start screening. No matter how much you smoked, early detection could save you. Talk to your doctor or learn more at savedbythescan.org.
Man, it's lonely. Like, going through life lonely.
There is the therapeutic aspect of music, just expressing how you feel. I'm going to talk to Howie about his feelings, make it into a song.
Welcome back. A local business had an open house and ribbon cutting ceremony today. NewsLink Indiana's Lauren Burris tells us more.
Many may know the A-Team for its food truck services, and infamous Cardinal Corn. However, the local business hopes to serve up success with its new venue. The food truck has previously ran concessions at several Ball State sporting events. And it doesn't stop there. A team now provides a customized venue and catering services for birthday parties, showers, receptions, and more. The Muncie community gathered at the opening ceremony to get a taste of what they have to offer. The venue aims to open up more opportunities for the business.
Having the building is going to be able to have us have parties and things like that and incorporate the catering and the food truck here at our own place. Yeah, there's just not a lot of places in Muncie to go to have a party that you want that's not like a big fancy party. We want this to be customized to any kind of level. So if you want to have just a small kid's birthday party, fine. But if you need to have a big fancy event, we can turn it into that as well.
Wilson shares what this means to her.
I love Muncie and I love like growing here, and I have a large family and I just want them to be proud of us and like hopefully have something that they want to carry on as well.
Jennifer expresses that her customers will only get the best from the A-Team.
You do not get frozen food here. You do not get stuff that has been pulled out and put from the freezer and put in the oven. I actually make things from scratch. I have a huge family. I cook dinner for every Sunday, and so it's kind of sparked my my idea to like feed others. That's kind of my love language, is feeding people.
It's clear now that the business isn't called the A-Team for no reason. In Muncie, Lauren Burris, NewsLink, Indiana.
To stay up to date on future events, visit the A-Team Party Parlor Catering's Facebook account.
Recently, an experienced pet groomer opened up her own small business. NewsLink Indiana's Amelia Winter traveled to Albany to find out more.
Over 4 years of pet grooming experience, recently, Victoria Gill has been able to establish her own business, the Bow Wow Pet Parlor. Before opening up Bow Wow Pet Parlor in July, Victoria worked at a boarding, daycare, and grooming facility that did everything that allowed multiple dogs all in one room. However, Victoria wanted to create a different experience for her clients' pets by giving them one-on-one attention.
As far as I know, like a lot of groomers are in boarding or daycare facilities or vet clinics, and even though you may be able to be a little bit out of the way of everything else, I like to prioritize literally just me and that dog. Like, all I do is grooming here.
Victoria's pride in her work is shown through her dedication to ensuring dog safety by requiring vaccines for appointments. At the same time, another feature that makes Bow Wow Pet Parlor stand out is being cage-free.
PetSmart Pet Supplies Plus, how it's an open environment. And you know, dogs are always coming in, even if it's not for grooming, like they're just coming in to shop or something. That's a lot for dogs to be looking at while you're trying to groom and things like that. So here, it's literally just me and the dog.
Since opening up her business, Victoria feels closer to her clients more than ever.
I've had a more personal relationship with my clients because when I worked at other places, it was more just like, oh, you know, like, you're just another client. You know, it's more just like getting numbers in and just another paycheck. But here it's like I take pride in my work, and it's just building that relationship with clients and, you know, maybe even making friends out of it.
The Bow Wow Pet Parlor strives to create a stress-free environment that prioritizes dogs' comfort and well-being. In Albany, Amelia Winter, NewsLink, Indiana.
If you are interested in more information for your furry friend, then visit Bow Wow Pet Parlor LLC on Facebook.com.
We're expecting more average temperatures throughout the week. Find out more in my full forecast after the break.
As a dad, every day is a challenge. To make sure that the time that I have, I spend with them. It doesn't matter how tired you are, you have to try and to teach them. When they learn something new, and you can just see in their faces, it's such an incredible moment. It's those moments that are my favorite.
When it comes to making plans, you are the best. What about those barbecues you plan in detail for your family? Or your daughter's first costume party? It was out of this world. The same way you plan each detail for those moments, start planning to protect you and your loved ones from a natural disaster. Sign up for local weather and emergency alerts. Prepare an emergency kit and make a family communications plan. Protecting your family is the best plan you can make.
When tornadoes touched down in parts of our viewing area, NewsLink Indiana kept you informed days in advance.
You do need to be seeking shelter.
Marginal risk of severe weather.
And days after.
The roof has been ripped completely off of this house,
giving you a first-hand look at the communities affected.
When your neighbors lose their house and you don't, how lucky you are.
The first to alert you of severe weather before it happens. NewsLink Indiana Weather.
Can't believe you're doing this alone. I've done it before. I remember you threw your back out. How you holding up? Hand me that board. Nothing wrong with getting help. I'm good. I did it when Felicia left. I'll figure it out. I know you will, but you don't have to do it alone. That's all I'm saying. If I promise to look into it, will you drop it and help me build this fence? Now you need my help. It can be a real pain sometimes, you know what? Mm-hmm.
If you or a veteran you know needs support, don't wait. Reach out. Find resources at va.gov/reach.
It was a very calm day here in Indiana. Again, another look at our current temperatures right now. It is 54 degrees again here in Muncie. That Indianapolis area, 55 degrees. While down in Evansville, again, it is a little bit warmer with 60 degrees. But up in the Chicago South Bend area, 50 degrees, a little bit cooler up there on the lakefront. However, it is cooler here in the state of Indiana. Right now here in Muncie, we're actually 12 degrees cooler than what we were 24 hours ago. However, up in the Fort Wayne area, there's a change of temperature of about minus 15. So again, an overall cooler day here in Indiana. While our high today was around 65 degrees, this puts us back on average for this time of year. Our average high is 66 degrees, while we're just about 9 degrees lower than our record high, which was 74 set just last year in 2023. Now, as the night continues to move on, we're going to see those temperatures start to drop pretty quickly. If you plan on going outside around 11 o'clock or midnight, you can expect temperatures of 51 and 49. However, as we move later into the evening, we can see that our low is going to be 45 degrees with partly cloudy conditions, while wind continues to blow at around 45 miles per hour. With that, you might want to take a small jacket or a sweatshirt outside if you plan on going outside and doing any activities like going for a walk. However, when you're going for your bus or morning walk tomorrow at 8 a.m., you can expect some cloud cover with temperatures being 44 degrees. Well, that wind's going to start to pick up and be blowing around 10 miles per hour. While you move into the workday, that cloud cover is going to dissipate a little bit, while temperatures rise up to about 55 degrees with those winds still blowing. However, tomorrow's high is going to be 59 degrees with those mostly sunny conditions continuing throughout the day. We are still monitoring a drought here in Indiana. This doesn't take into account the drought, the rain that we saw yesterday here. So with that rain, our drought monitor can expect our viewing area here in Muncie to get maybe some more of that moderate area, maybe even see that dry move up here and that severe kind of get pushed back. With those drier conditions, we're going to see some above average temperatures here in the Midwest and here on the East Coast. But as you move out west, you can see some below average temperatures here for this week. Now, on our 7-day forecast, what we can expect on Friday, we're looking at 61 degrees for our high, again with some mostly sunny conditions. However, on Saturday, we can see some of that cloud cover moving back in here. So high of 63. However, on Sunday, we might be able to see some chances of rain, with chances of precipitation being about 80%, with highs of 66. While moving later into next work week, we can see those temperatures remain in that 60-degree mark, with some rain chances expected on Wednesday.
Well, thank you so much, Evan. I don't know about you guys, but I'm so happy that we're actually getting into the fall territory.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
I'm a bit bummed that it took us until November to do that.
Oh,
but
I remember last week it was like 70 degrees, and I was like, it feels like May outside. I don't know what's going on.
Yes.
It's really weird.
I know, and it felt so weird, but with that 70 degrees though, it was that wind that really made it go out. I remember waking up one morning, walking out of my room, and the wind blew my hair all over the place. I don't have much hair to blow around, but I do remember that it was just so crazy, and I was like, oh boy, we're going to be in for another gusty day. But I'm glad that temperature and those winds are coming back down to some of those average stuffs, while that wind is still kind of leveling out a little bit.
For sure.
Well, thank you so much, Evan. There's lots more to get to on NewsLink Indiana. Jack Farrar has a preview of sports.
Thanks, Gavin and Andy. One squad looks to win big on election night, and the other athletes handed out some sweet treats. All this and more next in sports.
It's something about having that piece of paper. Some people think that's worth more than my skills.
I've run this place for 20 years, but I still need to prove that I'm more than what you see on paper.
You just gotta be so good they can't ignore you.
It's the way my mind works. I have a very mechanical brain.
Analytics and empathy. That's how I've gained clients.
I am more.
I'm more
than who I am on paper.
When I was growing up, my mom was extremely tidy. We were trained to put things back where we got them from. One day, when I walked into my mom's house, I felt like I walked to someone else's house. There was stuff everywhere. And just growing up the way I grew up, and to see this transition was very alarming.
When Sean talked to me, it was a wake-up call, and that's when I went to the doctor.
¿Qué color? Perfecto, mijo.
Gracias. Thank you.
What's wrong, mijo?
Donating to a pet's medical care is one of the many ways you can help families in your community. Pets and people belong together. Learn more at petsandpeopletogether.org.
At night, NewsLink Indiana brings you the news before you go to bed.
But Friday mornings, you're waking up with Cardinal Weather, bringing you up to speed on the day's top stories.
And giving you up-to-the-minute conditions from the Ball State Weather Center.
And of course, lots of fun.
I gave mine personality. Look, it's got eyebrows.
Ooh.
My lucky glove didn't even work.
But I also am excited for those fall temperatures.
Start your Friday mornings with Cardinal Weather, live on the Cardinal Weather Facebook page.
Welcome back to NewsLink Indiana. I'm Jack Farrar with sports. Ball State kicked off action last night with a Redbird rivalry game against Miami of Ohio. Driving rain wouldn't dampen any spirits as the Cards would get out to an early lead against the Red Hawks on a botched punt pick six. Miami would answer back and head into the locker room on top 21-13. In the final quarter, Ball State would force a field goal and get the ball back with 2 minutes to go, trailing by 6 points. And after some late magic fell short, the Cardinals would lose a fifth straight Redbird rivalry by a final score of 27-21. Head coach Mike New gave his thoughts after this crushing defeat.
Gosh, put ourselves in a position there, but unfortunately, we weren't able to get it done. So it's tough. The disappointment, the dejection, the frustration, the emotion, all those things, obviously, just looking at the guys in the locker room, very, very difficult.
Ball State will continue their action next Tuesday at Buffalo. To keep things at the shoe, Ball State tight end Tanner Kazeel has been named one of the 8 national semifinalists for the 2024 John Mackey Award. The Mackey Award is granted each year to the nation's most outstanding tight end. Before last night's game, Kazeel ranked 5th nationally for all players with 8 receptions per game, which is also second for tight ends. And in Ball State history, only 3 tight ends have posted 50 catches and 500 yards in a season. Kazeel eclipsed those numbers in just 7 games with 64 catches for 580 yards so far this season. To pass it over to Worthen, this past weekend, Worthen Arena had the chance to share some holiday spirit with some future Cardinals. NewsLink Indiana's Max Robson head to Worthen for a game and a treat.
As women's volleyball prepares for a key matchup on the court, the other Cardinal athletes nest in the concourse, handing out candy for their annual chirp or treat. And although the Cardinals on the court couldn't attend, they were just as excited to bring the fun to the arena.
We've never been able to participate in it since it's always at our games, but it's really cool to kind of like bring in the community and show that we're up for a little bit of fun and just bringing the community in and just having a good time with the community and then watching some volleyball as well.
But this isn't just a one-off event, however. Ball State SAC, or the Student Athlete Advisory Committee, hosts many events just like this, but are here to do so much more. SAC is here to give all student athletes a voice in all matters important to the athletes.
But they're the voice of the student athlete body, so we've got about 450 student athletes, and if any athlete in that feels that they have a concern or a question, they can go to their SAC reps and kind of funnel any concerns or questions up through the SAC group.
I think it's really important that everyone has a voice in our meetings. It's really interesting to kind of get every athlete's perspective on their all these different issues, and then everybody just kind of voicing their opinions and being able to kind of get their inputs.
And for Ryan, working with SAC is more than just helping the students run events.
For me, it was important to just get in a position where I could help them be more visible with them, help them achieve more of that leadership and life skills area. One thing we talk about is we are helping student athletes become leaders and winners.
To keep updated with Ball State SAC, follow their Instagram page at Ball State SAC. In Muncie, Max Robson, NewsLink, Indiana.
You know, guys, despite the loss for Ball State, it's really cool to see a guy like Kazeel get that nomination for the award, especially, competing with the powerhouses like the SEC and the Big Ten and everything. It's really cool to see a small conference like the MAC have a guy stand out and get a national nomination for one of those awards.
Yeah, for sure. I think it's a really cool opportunity not only for him, but I think for Ball State in general to get some history kind of for the school.
I agree.
Yeah.
Thank you so much, Jack. After the break, an artifact will be on auction. Find out the history of this special piece.
And one final look at your weather when we come back.
Attacks against Asian Americans and Pacific Islanders are on the rise.
My simple solution to the problem was remove people from the scene and help them feel safer. In terms of the hate crimes, I think there is so much more work to be done. We really need to come together and tackle this issue as a community.
I'm an ex-drug dealer, and I'll be your sub today. Two milligrams of fentanyl can be lethal. A lethal dose is in here. Who gets it, I won't know.
It's cheap, it's potent, and it's profitable. The sad reality is, fentanyl is being mixed into everything now.
More kids should know.
There are 16 million children struggling with hunger in America. That's 1 in 5 daughters, sons, neighbors, and classmates who don't know where their next meal is coming from. Yet billions of pounds of good food go to waste every year. It's time we do something about it. Feeding America is a nationwide network of food banks that helps provide meals to millions of kids and families in need. Visit feedingamerica.org to help them feed even more. Together, we can solve hunger. Together, we're feeding America.
Here you go.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Welcome back. A Titanic artifact is hitting the auction block later this month. This card was postmarked on April 11th, 1912, 3 days before the ship struck an iceberg and sank on its maiden voyage. The author first-class passenger, Richard William Smith, was one of about 1,500 people who died. The auctioneer, Henry Altridge and Son, says the postcard is expected to fetch up to $13,000. Well, Evan, can you tell us a little bit more about what's going on with the weather?
Absolutely. So again, over the next 7 days on Friday, we can expect temperatures to be around 61. Moving into the weekend, we're going to see those temperatures increase a little bit with a chance of rain on Sunday with 80% chance of precipitation. However, on Monday, on Veterans Day, it should be quite beautiful for that. We're looking at some mostly cloudy conditions with temperatures reaching highs of around 60 degrees. With later into the work week, another 40% chance of rain on Wednesday with 64 degrees. And looking at the lows, some pretty average lows for this time, 49, 45, stuff like that.
Thank you so much, Evan.
Of course.
That's all for tonight on NewsLink Indiana. Be sure to tune in tomorrow night at 9, streaming live on the NewsLink Indiana Facebook page and YouTube channel.
And for news anytime, anywhere, just go to ballstatedaily.com. Have a great night and stay safe.